Premier, and I obviously want to congratulate her and Jane for their first grandchild. That's exciting. And third! Oh, sorry. Okay, first grandson. That's fantastic. And hopefully he'll be wearing some Tory blue today. Speaker, I'd like to go back on this matter of the gas plants because it is clear that there's no confidence left in the government's handling of the energy file. In the last 2 weeks alone, the auditor confirmed they blew $1.1 billion in cancelling gas plants. Then they cancelled $181 million worth of nuclear reactors. Then the OEB raised hydro rates, and then the 402 was shut down by angry Ontarians in rural communities who are opposed to this wind turbine development scheme. So if their energy policy wasn't in shambles 2 weeks ago, it certainly is now. There is zero credibility left. So if you won't support my colleague from Burlington in her effort to get you to pay back that $950 million, will you be at least honest with the taxpayers of this province when they open their energy bill?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, I know the Minister of Energy will want to speak to this, but I want to just talk because this notion about the $180 million that has been spent on getting ready for a new nuclear spend, Mr. Speaker, I just want to be clear about what that $180 million was for, because I think people need to know that. So the Ontario Power Generation invested $180 million in environmental approvals, Mr. Speaker, in project planning, public and stakeholder consultations around a potential new build. All of the OPG's expenditures related to the new nuclear planning, they were reviewed by the Ontario Energy Board, Mr. Speaker, which is an independent semi-judicial agency, as the member opposite knows, and those expenses were posted publicly on their website. And much of what OPG has invested can be repurposed for the future if and when the province decides to move ahead. So, Mr. Speaker, that is not lost money. That is money that is bought information.
Thank you. Supplementary.
I don't think that helps the Premier escape the fact the last 2 weeks in the energy file have been absolutely disastrous and has had a major impact on the ratepayers across this province. We know that she was in the middle of a series of very bad decisions, Speaker, with respect to the Oakville gas plants. And it doesn't matter how many panels that she creates for so-called quote-unquote open government. Everyone knows that she signed the cabinet document to cancel that power plant. Everyone knows that she was the campaign chair to make that decision. And now everyone knows, because of the Deputy Minister of Energy, that she knew well before she was quoting the $33 to $40 million cancellation fee, it would be upwards of $750 million or more. So if her party will not pay back the funds that they stole from the taxpayers in the province, the only thing that she can do now is actually tell Ontario taxpayers exactly how much it's costing them.
Mr. Speaker, we have been asking now for several months for the Progressive Conservative Party to come forward with its costing when it campaigned so aggressively for the cancellation of both these plants. Now, Mr. Speaker, they have not been forthcoming, but Mayor Rob Burton of Oakville put something on his website I'd like to quote. You want to hear this? This is a quote from his website. It's called The Timeline. It's on September 25th, 2011. PC leader Tim Hudak says the Oakville power plant cancellation cost $1 billion and suggests the Mississauga power plant cancellation may cost another $1 billion. On October 5th, 2011, you want to hear this, on the day before the provincial election in front of the still under construction Mississauga power plant, PC leader Tim Hudak promises to stop the power plant if he wins the election, after only days before warning that he's sure it may cost another $1 billion.
Thank you. Final supplementary.
Very much, Speaker. I'd like to go back to the Premier. It's really nice for the government House Leader to try and get up and talk about something that really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because I'll tell you something, Speaker. It was their government that canceled the gas plants. It was their government that relocated to Napanee, and it was their government who cost taxpayers in this province $1.1 billion. Back to the Premier. It's clear that the government either doesn't know or doesn't care how how much ratepayers are being charged for these disastrous scandals of the past 2 weeks. They are making policy decisions up by the fly. It is not in the best interest of our energy sector, nor is it in the best interest of the people who are paying for it across the province. If she can't tell us what that bill means and what the people of this province are paying when they open their hydro bill, when they open their natural gas bill across the province, she's not doing her job, or she's incompetent.
Question?
Perhaps it's both. Will she actually ask the Auditor General to open up the books, since she simply won't do it?
Mr. Speaker, you know, the member can shout and scream and put on all the dramatics she wants, but she cannot deny the fact that it was the leader of her party who stood up and said that if he was elected Premier of this province, the Mississauga power plant, in his words, would be done, done, done. Mr. Speaker, we have heard for months and months this criticism from them that somehow the decision that we took, the same one they promised, has been the worst thing to befall civilization. Well, it's time they came clean, Mr. Speaker. It's time they allowed their candidates to come before the committee and talk about their costing, talk about their analysis, and talk about why Tim Hudak, after admitting it would cost $1 billion, went in front of...
I do object. Sit down. The member is asked, as all members are, to use the title or to use the writing. Please, you have 10 minutes to wrap up.
Mr. Speaker, it's time they come clean why their leader stood after admitting it would cost $1 billion in his estimate and explain their costing and explain why they made the exact same promise.
No question. Leader of the third party.